What if Earth's insects disappeared? Curiosity Now, Season 3, Episode 4. The world would still look familiar at first. Skies would remain blue, forests would stand, fields would stretch to the horizon, cities would hum, lights would stay on, food would still arrive at stores, nothing would appear broken. And yet, something essential would be missing. Something so small, so constant, so overlooked that most people wouldn't notice its absence. Until everything else began to fail. Insects are everywhere. They crawl through soil. They fly through air. They live on plants, in water, beneath bark, inside ecosystems we rarely think about. They are not background noise. They are infrastructure. And if they vanished, Earth would begin to unravel from the bottom up. Insects make up over half of all known species on Earth. They pollinate plants. They recycle nutrients. They control populations. They feed everything above them. They are not optional. They are structural. Here's the part most people don't realize. The collapse wouldn't begin with hunger. It would begin with silence. Imagine a spring without buzzing. No bees moving between flowers, no flies drifting over fields, no ants marching across the ground. Flowers bloom, but remain untouched. Leaves fall, but do not decompose. Life continues to exist, but stops interacting. At first, agriculture appears unaffected. Crops still grow. Grains like wheat and rice do not rely heavily on insect pollination. Harvests come in. Markets stay calm. Reassurances follow. The system absorbs the shock. But beneath that surface stability, the first cracks form. Before we go any further, if you enjoy documentaries about invisible systems that quietly support life on Earth, take a moment to like this video. It helps Curiosity Now reach more curious minds. And if you want more episodes about planetary systems we take for granted, subscribe to Curiosity Now and turn on notifications. Sharing this video helps these stories reach people who love big questions. The first major failure appears in pollinated crops. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, apples, almonds, berries, coffee, cocoa. Without insects, pollination stops. Flowers fall away unused. Plants grow but produce nothing. Farmers respond with workarounds. Hand pollination begins. Drones are tested. Labor costs explode. Yields drop sharply. What was once efficient becomes fragile and expensive. Entire industries feel it immediately. Nut production collapses. Fruit availability shrinks. Prices climb, not suddenly but steadily. Diversity disappears. Diets narrow. But food is only one layer. The deeper collapse happens underground. Insects are Earth's recyclers. Beetles, ants, termites, and larvae break down dead plants and animals. They return nutrients to the soil. Without them, organic matter accumulates. Leaves pile up. Dead wood remains intact. Waste lingers. The nutrient cycle slows, then stalls. Soil loses fertility. Not from erosion this time, but from stagnation. Nutrients remain locked in dead matter, unable to re-enter the system. Topsoil becomes inert. Plants grow weaker with each generation. Fungi attempt to compensate. Bacteria increase activity. But they cannot scale fast enough. The decomposition system was built with insects as a core component. Remove them, and the engine misfires. Grasslands suffer next. Insects maintain balance by consuming specific plants. Without them, invasive species spread unchecked. Biodiversity collapses. Monocultures emerge, not by design, but by survival. Ecosystems simplify. Resilience disappears. Bird populations crash. Not from disease, not from climate, from starvation. Insects are the primary food source for countless bird species, especially during breeding seasons. Nestlings fail to survive. Migration routes empty. Skies grow quieter. Amphibians follow. Then reptiles. Then small mammals. The base of the food web collapses upward. Predators remain, but with nothing to hunt. Freshwater systems destabilize. Aquatic insects vanish. Streams lose filtration. Algae blooms increase. Water quality declines. Fish populations crash, not from overfishing, but from ecosystem failure. Forests begin to change character. Insects once controlled tree populations. They pruned the weak. They limited dominance. Without them, forests grow denser, then weaker. Disease spreads unchecked. Entire stands die at once. Fire risk skyrockets. Wildfires increase, not because of heat alone, but because dead biomass accumulates everywhere. Fuel loads grow heavier each year. Fires burn hotter. They spread faster. They become harder to contain. Carbon cycles destabilize. Insects once helped regulate how carbon moved through ecosystems. Without them, decomposition slows. Carbon accumulates in dead matter or is released violently through fire. Climate feedback loops tighten. Attempts to engineer replacements accelerate. Robotic pollinators, synthetic decomposers, managed ecosystems. But nature is not modular. Systems do not scale linearly. Replacing billions of insects across millions of square miles proves impossible. Global agriculture restructures. Staple grains dominate. High-value crops disappear. Farming becomes more industrial, less diverse. Nutrition becomes less varied. Food security weakens, not through shortage, but through uniformity. Economic impacts spread. Rural livelihoods vanish. Export economies collapse. Regions dependent on pollinated crops lose relevance. Global trade reshapes again. Cultural loss follows. Foods tied to regions disappear. Traditions fade. Landscapes change identity. What once bloomed each spring no longer does. Over time, ecosystems enter a new equilibrium. Simpler, less productive, less resilient. Life persists, but abundance is gone. This is not extinction, it is reduction, the quiet shrinking of possibility. And the most unsettling truth? Insect populations are already declining globally, not disappearing, but thinning, year after year. From habitat loss, chemical exposure, climate stress, the trend is measurable. Insects do not announce collapse, they vanish gradually, one field at a time, one species at a time. If insects disappeared entirely, Earth would not explode, it would slow, stall, and then struggle to sustain complexity. If this episode changed how you see the smallest creatures on the planet, consider sharing this video with someone who's never thought about insects as infrastructure. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Curiosity Now. Because the systems that matter most are often the ones we overlook completely. The world doesn't fall apart when giants disappear. It falls apart when the smallest workers stop showing up.